Have you ever been mortified by something you did or said, past or present? I'm guessing everyone has. The bigger question is, have you ever gotten on stage and revealed in front of an audience some of the most mortifying thoughts and words you ever wrote? Well, I have. A number of years ago, I unearthed an absolute treasure trove of my writing. Diaries, notes passed in class, letters, all the things I'd written as a surly teenage girl. And boy, was I surly. There are cute pictures of me at the time. Pleasant, smiling, well-dressed, perfectly coiffed. I had two particularly fabulous hairdos in my teens. One was rendered by Mama's beauty operator from a picture of Twiggy, the first supermodel. I copied her short haircut and her eye makeup. I loaded down my lashes with as much black mascara as they would hold and got what Mama called spider eyes, meaning the lashes, top and bottom ones, were just too much. I mean that in a good way, Mama, not so much. I wore dresses so short even Daddy, who rarely questioned anything I did, would ask through clenched jaws, "Billy Joe, are you going to let her wear that?" And Mama would matter-of-factly answer that she was. It was the style. The second fabulous do I had was again rendered to perfection by the same beauty operator from a picture I had of a Vidal Sassoon asymmetrical cut. She cut my hair in 3 lengths, short in the back, longer on one side, and even longer on the other side. That side of my hair I wore close to my eye, almost obliterating it and looking, in my mind, like I belonged on the streets of London or at least New York, and not zipping down small-town Main Street in my white Corvair drinking a Dr. Pepper. Anyway, cute as those pictures are, underneath the images is a teenage demon from hell. My diaries are proof of it. Coincidentally, around the time I rediscovered the diaries, I also came across an article about a stage show in L.A. and New York called Get Mortified. It was the brainchild of David Nadelberg, who had found a letter he'd written as a teenager. It was mortifying and hilarious. He read it to a group of friends one night, and it soon became his sort of party trick. All his friends clamored for it, and so the show was born. Get Mortified is now done in almost every major city in the U.S. and many international cities, too. Look it up, and if there's a show near you, run, don't walk. You'll love it. So I called the producers, got an appointment, and they jumped on my angsty teenage diaries. Together we put together the absolutely most mortifying of all my diary entries, and I became a staple of Get Mortified shows for several years. During the show, they project pictures of the performers as they looked as the teenage shit-asses we all were. Some of the pictures are all teeth and braces. Some show pitiful fashion victims from the 80s. Mine was a portrait I had done in my rodeo attire. I use the term rodeo loosely because I grew up around real cowgirls and cowboys, and although I had horses and participated in rodeos, I was mostly a dilettante. I joke sometimes that my best event was the grand entry. For those of you who don't know, that's the big parade-like entrance into the rodeo arena when everyone is dressed in great-looking outfits, galloping around and around the perimeter on horseback. It's thrilling, and I definitely had the outfits. So the picture I gave the mortified producers is a portrait of me in a white western suit, long dark hair under a red felt Stetson hat, and red cowboy boots. And I do look pretty great in that picture, but the somewhat deceptive image of me is not even close to as mortifying as what I was about to read from that sweet-looking pink leather diary. Of course, this hipster bunch in L.A. loved the exotic cowgirl look, along with my Texas accent, and a star was born. The Get Mortified shows aren't presented at a theater, but at a rock and roll club on Hollywood Boulevard. Most of the time I was easily 30 years older than some of the other performers in the show, and that just means I was 30 years more hip and the music on my playlists is a lot better. The shows are well attended in part because celebrities get involved too. One night, Elijah Wood read from an awkward screenplay written by some teenage boy. I don't know how David convinced him and the other actors to do it, but they played it to the hilt with mortifying, hilarious seriousness. Another night, I shared the stage with Alison Brie of Mad Men, Community, and Glow. She and some friends read some raunchy stuff they'd written as angsty teenagers. David Nadelberg told me later that Allison and her girlfriends loved my story about my breakup with my boyfriend Dale. And to this day, every time he sees Alison Brie, she greets him with my teenage Texas twang, wailing, "Oh, Dale!" How humiliating! How mortifying! How fun! To stand up in front of a crowd of LA hipsters and get cheers and laughs? What's not to love? My friends loved it too, and most of all, Mama loved it. I can see her hip little face sitting there front and center. She was hip as hell, 80-something among 20 and 30-somethings, eating it up when I read all the horrible things my demonic self had written about her in that pink diary. I called her Fossil in the diary, and after the shows, if she was there, audience members looked for Fossil and wanted to meet her. I would always point to her from the stage at the end of my piece, and they would shine a spot on her. She'd get applause. Thank you, Mama, for forgiving me for being such a little shit. I became a real part of the mortified machine. My diary entries were featured in their first book, and I read them for the first season of their podcast. I also got a national commercial out of the deal. Ancestry.com reached out to Mortified when they wanted to advertise their new offering of high school yearbooks. They ran a spot featuring my Vidal Sassoon picture, 10th grade, I think. The producers of the commercial asked me, present-day Lucinda, on camera, what most embarrassed me about my picture. I said nothing. My hair's cute and my dress is precious. So pour yourself a double shot of anything, turn the lights way down in your own Hollywood club, and enjoy this slice of my teenage life. Friday, May 31st. I had a date with Dale tonight. He picked me up at 6:00 p.m. and we went to get a Coke. Drug Maine, went to the rodeo grounds, drug Maine, went over to Danny's house. He wasn't home. Back to the rodeo grounds, left, drug, talked to some guy and his wife. I stayed with her while Dale got ready and rode bareback bronc. He didn't qualify. June 13th. Oh, gosh. I told Dale I loved him for the first time tonight. I think I do, and he says he loves me. A little bit. He says he's confused because of a girl that lives in the upper part of the state. I love him so much, I wish he loved me half as much as I love him, then that would be a hell of a lot. Thursday, Dale. Friday, Dale. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Dale, 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 Dale. Thursday. Waited all day for Ass to call. Never did. August the 21st. We went to the rodeo about 7:00. Dale rode in the grand entry. Danny and his girlfriend rode too. She got best dressed cowgirl. Just before I left, Dale comes walking up with some girl. He saw me, and the look on his face was unbelievable. He looked like somebody just slapped him in the face with a cold rag or something, and he just turned and herded that girl off. Oh, Dale. August the 22nd. I took down all my Dale stuff for the very last time. September the 4th. I was in bed just about to cry my fool self to sleep and the phone rang. I just knew it was Susan and she had called to let me hear some sad song on the radio, but when I answered, Dale said, "What are you doing?" And I was never so happy in my life. I don't think I'd have made it through last night if it hadn't been for him calling. I told him I loved him for the first time since about the 7th of August. I wouldn't tell him last week. My stupid pride wouldn't let me, but now I don't give a damn about my pride. It doesn't mean anything when it comes to loving Dale. I hope he knows that and won't take advantage of it and treat me like he did before again. I love him as much as anything else in the world, maybe even more, and that's a lot. September the 5th. Today at the Wildcat, Dale was precious. Oh, he was cute. Better than that, adorable. He picked me up tonight about 7:15. We went riding around. We were sitting in the car and Dale took off his senior ring and put it on my finger and said, "Okay." I didn't say anything. I couldn't. Oh, his ring is beautiful, and I'm so happy I could just bust wide open. This is the happiest day of my life. September the 6th. Dale picked me up for school. Oh, it was cool. I was waiting, and the first thing he wanted to do was kiss me, and I wouldn't let him all morning. Damn, I love that guy so much. September the 7th. Dale hasn't called, and I'm plenty mad. Oh, he's had it. Oh, why do I love him? I don't really know. I've had it with Dale. Through. September the 8th. I'm still through with Dale forever. September the 9th. I'm just as through as yesterday. September the 10th. Dale finally called. We went riding around, had a blast, drug Maine for 2 hours. September the 11th. Mother is so damn mad at me she's about to have triplets, and I sure don't know why. I think she's found out about Dale and me going to the Wildcat at noon. In fact, I know that's what it is, 'cause there's not another shitting thing it could be. She took my phone out again, and so hell, I know it's pretty bad. That old fossil, I could kill her, or better, make her wish she was dead. Dale called. Fossil answered. We talked a little while, then that old bag made me get off the phone. She'll remember that. Thursday, at the mountains with Paula. My bathing suit top fell off in the river. Embarrassing. Got 2 letters from Susan. She said Dale's drinking and he stole some batteries and a motor and got put in jail. I love him and I can't stand being away. I'm going home tomorrow. Saturday. Mother and Daddy won't speak to me, but I don't care. Somebody just called and Daddy answered and said I couldn't talk because I was studying. Bull! Mother told him to say that, and if it was Dale, I'll never forgive her. Sunday. Dale called me tonight. He told me all about jail. It was awful. I love him so much. He asked me if I'd marry him, and he's not kidding. He said, "We'll have a beautiful wedding and a beautiful marriage and a little girl that looks just like you." Dale says we'll get married either after school's out or after I graduate. November the 21st. We broke up this morning. I went out to the car and he talked and I sat. He said he wasn't true and it wasn't fair for me. He said he still loved me, but he hadn't been true to me. It wasn't fair to have me tied down and him not. He said he wouldn't be true, especially this next week, and I don't know what that means. I wish it could have worked. I was so happy. Corvairs and Horny Toads is going to go on hiatus for a few weeks while we put together the next batch of stories for you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you enjoy my podcast, please tell your friends about it.